You're not supposed to lie, but you're definitely not supposed to lie when you're under oath talking to Congress. And that's exactly what it looks like John Brennan did, because he told us in a deposition last Congress that he wasn't involved with the dossier, the CIA wasn't, and they didn't want it included in any way in the intelligence community assessment that was done back in 2016. Right. Well, that's all fine and good, but ODNI Director Tulsi Gabbard declassified a report from the House Intelligence Committee from several years ago that says just the opposite. In fact, she relates in that declassified document, declassified report, she relates that there was a CIA official who came up to Mr. Brennan at this time and said, hey, the dossier doesn't stand up. There's no real underlying intelligence to support the claims made in that ridiculous document. But Brennan's response was, yeah, but doesn't it ring true? And they included it in the assessment because John Brennan was out to get the president. He wanted it in there. This clearly shows motive to get the president. And this idea that he thought, as the clip you just played, that there was some conspiracy going on when in fact there wasn't. So we referred him. Like I said, we don't do this often. We also included in that letter, Chanel, an earlier example where then Congressman Gowdy, Trey was questioning John Brennan in a hearing several years ago, and we think he lied in that hearing too. Now that's outside the statute of limitations, but we included it in to show a pattern. Right. And then finally, I would say this. The irony is we were deposing Brennan related to another investigation. The 51 former intel officials who signed that letter running in the run-up to the 2020 election that said the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian information operation, when in fact the FBI had the laptop and knew it wasn't. So there's a pattern of Mr. Brennan, I think, not being square with Congress and not being square with the American people, and that's why we referred him to the Attorney General.
To what extent is the current CIA going to play a role either in helping with the investigation or cooperating here? Do they matter at this moment?
Well, I think it's largely up to the Justice Department. We'll see what the Attorney General wants to do, what Deputy Attorney General Blanche, what they want to do with Mr. Brennan. I think it's clear. He said one thing to us under oath in a deposition last Congress relative to the dossier. He said something different, as evidenced by the declassified report that ODNI Director Gabbard released. We'll see. I don't know if Mr. Ratcliffe and the CIA will weigh in any way, but I do know that that I think is clear. And then, of course, there's the broader question: was this a conspiracy? John Brennan used the term conspiracy, but I'm interested. Was there a conspiracy between Comey and Clapper and Brennan and all these people to go after President Trump? And it started, of course, 9 years ago in 2016 after the election. Frankly, even before that, when they spied on his campaign. So I want to know if there was a conspiracy to undermine and sabotage the first term of President Trump back in 2016, 2017. We'll have to see if they're looking at that as well.
That's a great point about the conspiracy potential here, because at this point, if the DOJ is just looking into John Brennan, the jurisdictions over which some of this may be pursued is quite limited. But if we end up talking about a conspiracy, then we're bringing in other people, and all of a sudden you may be able to expand the jurisdiction of where this ultimately could be tried.
Yeah, but remember at this time frame, again, we go back to when it all began. They were changing the intelligence community assessment in December of 2016. President Trump gets elected. So between Election Day and Inauguration Day, they changed the assessment. And there's a meeting where they're all at the White House, and President Obama says, no, I want a new assessment done. And they changed the report. And this is where Clapper and Brennan, they're all involved in that intelligence community assessment, that report they then put together, that new one. This is where the dossier is used. Brennan said he had no part with the dossier, but in fact, he actually wanted it included in that new report. And that's the contradiction here. So that's where it all began. And they were all in that meeting at the White House. You had McCabe, you had Clapper, you had Brennan, you had all the key players. You had the president, the vice, you had all these key players, Loretta Lynch, the attorney general, all there as they put this together. And I think it was an effort to undermine and sabotage President Trump's first term and to create a predicate for the special counsel Mueller, and the 2 years that that all took, and all the hassle that was to the Trump campaign based on this entire hoax.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.